We're back again. So Abby's going to go ahead and dry it. She has the sodium sulfate. Add the first bit.
Mix it.
Yeah. And kind of swirl it, don't shake it.
I'm trying.
It's hard to do in a beaker. It's much easier if it was actually in an Erlenmeyer, but oh well. We should have probably done this in an Erlenmeyer.
Probably.
I bet that's what the directions say to do too. Yeah, I ignored my own directions.
Okay.
And then kind of go like this. It's a bit difficult. Is the cloudiness going away yet?
Yeah, it's starting to go away a little bit, but you see some at the bottom right there.
Yeah, so that's the sodium sulfate.
Mm-hmm.
But we do want it to get completely no longer cloudy, so that cloudiness is the water. So let's keep adding.
Okay. Still going away, but it's still there.
Try swirling it too.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you look at it, see Abby?
Mm-hmm.
When you turn it, I'm trying to show the video. See how it's still all clumped up? You don't have any free floaters?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for, is the free floaters. Sorry, I wasn't doing a very good job showing you on video.
Add a little bit more to that one.
So it does mean it was pretty wet. We did leave it on there for over 10 minutes, I
Longer
think.
than it was supposed to.
But moisture is hard to get rid of. Water is hard to get off. That's why we're doing this.
Alright, still no free floaters, but it's getting better.
So think about what would happen if we didn't get rid of the water and we tried to do a hydrogen NMR or the IR on it. How that would make our results a little different.
Still there, but again, it's getting better.
Yeah.
Take a while.
Well, I'm going to try swirling it too. Okay. So you want to hold the camera?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold it up over my head. I think there are free floaters, but it still looks pretty cloudy. So let's just swirl it some more. Okay, why am I a good swirler? I think I've done this for more years. And again, what did we do wrong? We didn't do this in an Erlenmeyer. Oh, look, it's much better.
It's still cloudy though.
It is still cloudy. Now it might be that it's going to stay cloudy, but I do see free floaters.
Yeah.
So again, when I tilt it, try not to spill it, do I see that I have little granulars that are falling? So I think we should go ahead with it. It is still an alcohol, assuming we were successful, dissolved in dichloromethane. So that might be some of the cloudiness that we're seeing.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and decant then.
All right.
Let's go ahead and decant. Thank you for putting the cap on the sodium sulfate, which is a drying agent. And if we leave it open, it will dry the air around us.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead and decant.
Slowly.
Well, you just don't want to get the solid over, and it shouldn't come over. Now, if we're worried about getting everything out, what we can also do, you can do that if you want, Abby, is add a little bit more dichloromethane, maybe about a half a milliliter, and rinse. Yeah, and rinse the drying agent. if we're concerned about getting everything over. This isn't in the directions, just sort of a habit I have from doing research. I tend to rinse my drying agent and swirl it and transfer it over. It's more important to do this if the volume of solvent you have is really low or the amount of product you have is really low. Neither is really the case here, but it doesn't hurt. Just don't get any of the solid over. That's good.
Yep.
And now we're going to go ahead and rotovap. So let's carry this over to the rotovap. Alrighty, you'll be on this side. So here's the rotovap. Let me go ahead and get this set up. So why don't you go ahead and put this down. You can hold the camera.
Okay.
My students know this is kind of stupid, but it works really nicely. I have this stupid adapter here. And so I'll just go ahead and do the rotovapping. So what I do is I put the flask on like this. And then what you want to start, keep your hand over here because it's not clamped on. I want to start the rotation here. Then I turn the pump on here. And the pump needs to be open to the air. It's going to get pretty noisy. Then I close it, so now I have a vacuum. But I have to watch the flask to make sure it doesn't start boiling. It is, so I vent it. Then I close it to the vacuum again, because I don't want it to start boiling because it'll splash up and I'll lose my product. Once this gets cold, then I won't have to worry very much. It's starting to get cold. Oh, it's boiling. So I vent it when it boils. Yep, it's nice and chilly. So if you remember, the reason it gets cold is it's taking the heat from the flask to help it boil. Oh, you can see how frosty it is now. So I'm going to still watch it, but I'm not going to be really worried about it splashing upwards. Now eventually it's going to get so cold that I'll need to put some room temperature water underneath it. I'll go ahead and get that right now. I'll be careful with this though, because again, I don't want it to boil, because it'll splash up. So I heat it a little bit. I like it to rotate faster, so I'll let it rotate faster. Go, go, go. It'll take a couple minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and stop the video, and we'll see what it looks like at the end.